Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. Quick, hit the follow button so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on our socials too: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on whatever you're listening to this podcast on. Welcome to another meeting of TV Holics Anonymous. My name is Ruru and I am a TV Holic.
My name is Mimi and I'm a TV Holic.
So this is part 2 of Singles Inferno season 5, episode 11, part 2.
Yeah. So we move on to day 9. So everyone's coming back from paradise. They literally just cut Joo-young and Hyun-jae out because with the other couples, they went back. Like they had 2 parts to their dates, right? Swimming pool and like the restaurant. And I was like, oh, they just literally cut them completely out because
I don't think they should have done
that.
I think I wanted to see the awkwardness. That's interesting.
And I know, but like it's probably inappropriate. I don't know.
No, I don't think so because they didn't do anything.
They could have just done whatever they're doing as friends.
Yeah,
like
she could have said, let's go. Yeah, let's go do an activity or something, or let's eat together or something. You know.
But it's a waste of their like reel because
pissed. Yeah, she's probably pissed because she wanted to spend that time with the guy that she liked.
To be fair, she did tell him, so she is probably annoyed.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go back onto the helicopter and Go-eun asks, she turns to Egon and she's like, if we crashed over there, would you save me? And he's like, of course, I would die in your place. And they start laughing. Then they have this moment where they start staring at each other. And it's like, you know, all that sexual tension. And the hosts are like, oh my God, they look really great together. It's a done deal. Like, Go-eun's smitten with him. You could just tell by the way she was looking. And then she starts acting all weird and doing the cutesy hands. Do you remember that? Like these kitten hands. Like, I don't know if she was fanning him or like doing kitten hands.
Yeah, I think she was just trying to get his attention.
You're not going to get any fanning, any air coming out with those little hands, like whatever you're doing.
Yeah, but I think she was just trying to get his attention. Like, that's her way of flirting, I think.
Yeah, he loved it anyway. And so basically the hosts are like, Sung-min stands no chance when they get back. So it's morning in Inferno, and Seung-il and Min-ji end up sitting in that same seat that they did all their dirty work from the night before. Those same 2 seats where they're sitting next to each other. And the hosts are like, oh God, who are they going to annoy from there today? Like, please don't cause any trouble. Like, who's their next victim to target? So Minji's like, Sungmin's sitting at the table with everyone having breakfast, but his body language is like fully turned away. And Minji notices that. She's like, Sungmin's like whole body is facing outside. Like he's so distracted. He just like is waiting for her to come back, going. So the couples come back and Mina-sue says, ooh, you look happy, to Go-eun. She's always trying to like stir up something. She's trying to stir up some stuff. Like, you look happy. And then Egon says, the first thing Egon says when he goes to sits on the table, he's like, Ha-eun, I missed you so much. And Go-eun's like, she's trying to laugh it off and she's like, oh, he was like that the whole time. Like, he was always mentioning you. And then the hosts are like, why is he doing that again? Like, why does he have to be so annoying?
I'd be so pissed. I'd just say it, you know.
Yeah. So then Ha-eun, there's like a few people. So it's like Ha-eun and then Hyun-woo and then Go-eun and then Egon sitting next to each other. So he's talking to her past these people, including Go-eun.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, so Ha-eun's like, I was so bored here all by myself. Like, was it a good trip? And then Go-eun says he missed you a lot. Like, she's annoyed. So she's like digging in to see how far he's going to go with this, I feel.
Yeah.
When she's like, you're right. He missed you a lot. And points to Egon and is like, right? And then Ha-eun says, why would you miss me? You're in paradise. You should just keep your mouth shut. Like, geez, seriously. Like, she was acting like, what the hell are you talking about me for? She is acting like a little sister kind of thing. Like, you loser.
She's being more mature than him in that moment, don't you think?
Yeah. And Egon starts laughing, and then Hyun-woo says, like, you should have taken me. I should have been fair. You should have let me take first place, so I could have gone. Then you could have just stayed with Ha-eun the whole time. So then Go-eun says, she looks over at Egon and does a boo with a thumbs down to him. Do you remember? She keeps doing that thumbs down thing. Yeah. Every time he does something, she gets annoyed with.
Because she's trying not to be too harsh so that he doesn't like, you know,
I think it's I think it's a softer way of her delivering it. Like, shut up. So then Sung-min laughs and says, why do you both look so tired? fishing for what they did. And then Egon says, well, we both slept well, like really well, actually. Jae-jin asked, what did you do? And Egon thinks for a second because he didn't reply straight away. And I thought he was like, how should I do this? Should I act like we're like really together, or should I play it cool?
I think he was thinking that as well. You're
yeah,
right.
and he was like, how much do you want me to give away? There was a moment of pause, and he was like, we ate and swam and then ate again. Once we started, we couldn't stop eating. And then Go-eun says, like, our faces were so puffy this morning. We laughed when we saw each other. And then we even ate at the pool. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I think in
like if you like
in
drink
Asia,
alcohol,
they think about, they know about, like, the salt content and how dehydrated all those kind of things.
Alcohol and, like, salty foods and, like, fried foods and stuff like that. Like, they're like, oh my God, I can't
How
eat
it
that.
affects your complexion.
If I've got, like, something the next day.
Red spots or, like, you know, and things like that.
So then the redness is from, like, when it's called the Asian glow. Like, sometimes, like, when Asian people drink too much alcohol, they get, like, really, really red. Some Asian people. East Asian people.
I've just got rosacea. It's not really the Asian glow.
Not really. You've got a tiny, tiny bit. You acting like it's, like, so crazy.
No, but I think it does that. Obviously, when you're hot and stuff, in certain moments, it comes out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Egon adds, like, we drank at 3 separate times, and Sung-min was not happy about that. He didn't want to hear that, and I think that's why Egon said it. Like, we were drinking, we were getting, like, really tipsy. And then Egon looks over again to Ha-eun, and he's like, "Oh, what did you do, Ha-eun?" And then Go-eun mutters, "What's his problem?" And then laughs, and she makes. Do you remember that stank face?
Yeah, that face. I love that face.
Oh my god, she was like looking up and down. It was so... that face was iconic. Like, that was like one of the moments of the season.
That was a good moment. That was a really good moment.
So
and you could really see how pissed off she was.
She looked him up and down, and she did this with her mouth.
The dirty look.
Yeah, it was like crazy. So do you remember? This is when I thought. Do you remember when she told him, when they had that conversation at the ice cream box, about how I don't like it when my boyfriend. One thing I don't like is when my boyfriend keeps doing something I tell him not to do.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, this is a prime example of the fact that she keeps telling you, like, she told you there, like, why do you keep talking about her? And she was like getting annoyed. You keep doing it.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know. That could sometimes turn, but I don't know. But anyway, the host Kyung-young says that, please, look, I get where he's coming from, but he does need to stop now with the Ha-eun stuff. And then Ha-eun says, I chatted a lot with Hyun-woo and Subin yesterday because I'd hardly talked to them before. They're really funny people. And Egon's like, you did? And then Hyun-woo says, can you pretend to be interested? Like, you know, like you're talking to us like friends. And then Ha-eun says, seriously, what's his problem? Like, referring to Egon because he's acting a bit weird or something. And then Go-eun looks so awkward, trying to pretend, like, she's trying to giggle and pretend like their banter is like she's in on it. It's really awkward because they're talking to each other and she's in between. I don't know how I react in that moment. Like, what would you do?
That
you just get angry and get up.
If someone was like courting me, like the beginning stages, and they were like giving so much attention to some other girl, and like I wouldn't like that, and I would feel really uncomfortable, wouldn't you? Like,
what would you actually do though? Would you just like get up and like make it known that you're angry, right?
No,
she's not really making it.
No, I wouldn't make it known. I wouldn't make it known because that's like, it's kind of like saving face kind of thing, you know, like how they do in South Korea.
So that's what she's doing, because she's like giggling along a little bit.
Yeah, because like you can't make yourself look like stupid, like you're so upset over it, like you're so upset over. Like,
but then also for some people, I think they would get up and make a scene because they want their person to follow them and be like, oh, sorry, are you upset? You know.
I would do that if I was in a long-term relationship with that person.
Or in any kind of relationship, I guess.
But they're not in a relationship.
Yeah, true.
They've known each other for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why she can't do that.
Very true, very true. So then Egon's like, what are you talking about? Like, what have I done? And Ha-eun says, look, I showed you how to make kind eyes. That's how you should look at people, because he was like being cheeky with her and then so he looks over to her with his eyes and stuff, and then Go-eun is just like so pissed because I don't think it's any flirting from Ha-eun's side, but in her mind, Egon, like, the whole like back and forth is probably a little bit, she's thinking it's getting a bit weird and flirty.
Also, it's clear to her that he's into Go-eun as well, but because he's always, and it's hard to tell because you don't know, you can't see everything. Like
I
you're
don't,
on
I
the
don't, I
side.
think he is. I think he is definitely into Go-Eun, and I don't think he thinks much of what he's doing with Ha-eun. But he is also old enough to like know, like he's not. Like, if this is Seung-il, I would be like, you know what, you're an idiot. You're immature and an idiot. But he's old enough to know that this would piss her off, and she has already told you that it's pissed her off, and she has already told you that when I tell my boyfriend or the person I like something, and they keep doing it, it annoys me. So you
Talking
should
about
retain that information.
yeah, you're right. But talking about Sung-il, don't have you heard him speak like
Yeah,
in Korean? He
Korean. Yeah.
really sounds like a Neanderthal. Like he really sounds dumb and slow and like blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
but that's
blah,
why they
blah.
gave him that voice, English voice. Like, like Minji, duh. So anyway, the host Jin-young says, you know what? I'm not sure about this. That last look of hers was chilling. Like, I think they were referring back to
Yeah,
that stink face that she
yeah.
did.
When she was like pissed off, that pissed off face.
Jin-young was like, oh, I thought it was okay, but now, like, she is pissed. So
Yeah. How
Da-hee
could you
says,
think it was okay? But like men are so dumb. Men are so dumb.
but that's why that other host had to explain to him, like,
Yeah, the
if your girls
females
are
had to.
talking about another man and
Yeah,
saying, "Oh, I feel like so happy when they're around," you would be pissed. So Dahi says, like, she might be okay with his behavior at first, but it won't last. If he continues this way, he'll end up overdoing it. In Paradise, Go-Eun said, "You're making me jealous," showing her displeasure subtly. It was a signal for him to stop, and he should have known that. Exactly what I said, yeah. So the other female hosts say, says that I think Egon has got a little too cocky, and he needs to stay on his toes until the end, or he'll regret
yeah,
it. Which is true as well. Like he probably just thinks that I got this in the bag, especially
yeah,
just straight after coming to Paradise. He doesn't know how Goen's going to move and the conversations she's going to have. But I think in this moment, they just got back. He's like, it's in the bag.
yeah.
So then Jin-young's like, let's keep watching because I do want to give him another chance because he's just too good looking.
I think he thinks he's too good looking
Well,
because he looks a lot like Jin-young. Like they look very similar.
yeah, they could be like
Yeah,
cousins. Yeah.
yeah, or brothers. Yeah,
So they leave the dining room, and Sung-hun says to Mina-sue, seeing you this morning, Brighton, because this is when they start walking back to their bedrooms. So there's a bit of an awkward moment here. But anyway, at first
oh
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
seeing you this morning, brighten my mood. And she says, don't you always see me first thing? Like she tries to cut him down. And then Jae-jin overhears and starts laughing. Like she does that. Do you remember a
yeah,
specific moment I remember where she cuts people down when she did that to Hyun-jae? That reminded me of that. When she was like, you're being really weird, like
yeah. Because
pursuing Joo-young.
because
Remember that time where she really cut him
I
down
think
really
it's because
hard?
she always thinks so much of herself. Like she thinks like she's like the big dog, like in like I'm the prize here, and everyone
Yeah,
should do as
I
I
don't know
like.
what it is, but she wants to make she's like that attention seeker that just wants to say things to get a reaction, and
Yeah,
like, I don't
and
know.
she wants all the guys to fawn over her and all the girls to think she's the best. That's why she's what's it called? She's insecure about Minji because she knows that Minji's number one. She's like
Yeah,
the number one girl in the group, like Jack Taylor would say. Number one girl in the group. So she's trying to always tear her down in any way that she can.
yeah. No, but this was she was tearing down. She's tearing down Sung-hoon now. So
Yeah, because she's doing that push and pull thing that she
yeah,
wants him to like her, and then she doesn't, and then like to
hmm,
keep him on his toes, kind of thing, constantly. But she's not
yeah,
into him. We all know that. Even the hosts know that.
yeah. So then Jae-jin moves on to Go-eun and Egon and says, like, your faces really suit each other. And Sung-hoon says, oh, okay. He's listening in the back. And Jae-jin's like clarifying, it's just looks-wise, I'm saying. Sung-hoon says, what about personalities? Do you think they match? And Go-eun says, this conversation is a bit too much because they're talking about them. And Mina-sue says, really? Has there been a change of heart? I want to know so badly. Stirring, obviously, as
Yeah, yeah,
usual.
because she's always trying to tear down other people's relationships because
She loves it.
yeah, she loves to
She's
do that.
like, the fact that her mind is changing and there's chaos, she's like, yay.
Chaos demon.
Sung-hun says she won't say anything, so I can't figure out what she's thinking. Like, Goen's such a masked person, like, she masks all her feelings. So Egon says, no one really knows that much about me, I guess. Like, I really don't talk about myself. Mina-sue says, the only thing I know about you is that you're really good looking. And Egon says, wow, Mina, we need to talk later. Oh, no, Egon.
Oh God,
Please don't do
why
that.
would you do that? Because Goen's right there as well.
I know.
I,
But even if she was, it's even worse if he says that. But
yeah,
that's why he says it in front of, like, he doesn't care because he's not
yeah, I think he's
meaning
just like
anything
trying to
by
neg
it.
her.
But
I think he's negging. I think he's just negging. It's part of his fuckboy. routine.
I think it just naturally comes out of his mouth to flirt. Like,
Yeah.
like some people are naturally flirty. So in real life, when he goes out for his work dues and he's an actor,
Yeah, he's
and
an
he's gonna
actor.
have so many like, parties and things to go to, he's probably like this stuff is probably naturally just flows out of his mouth, flirty stuff.
Yeah, but also because
And that would be
he's a
problematic
fuckboy.
again for Go-Eun.
He's a natural fuckboy, so it like naturally comes out, oozes out of his pores.
Yeah, but when you're in the acting industry or like pop star industry or anything, like I think you're just like you assimilate with that as well. Like it just naturally becomes like that. You're meant to be single, or, come across as single, or you're meant to be like. So anyway,
Yeah.
She says, Mina-sue's like, no thanks, I'm good. Like I don't think she wants any problem. And then Sung-hun says, I don't know, he says some weird stuff that's not relevant. So they go to the girls' bedroom, and Minji says, go ahead, Go-eun, you're up first. Like, tell us how everything went. And Go-eun says, the conversations were really fun. While I was with Go-eun, though, I realized that I kept checking whether I was thinking about someone else or focusing on the moment. Was I distracted? And Mina-sue asks, so what's the answer? And she shrugs, and Mina-sue says, oh, come on, like, I'm dying to know, tell me. And it's true, like, I feel like Go-eun, she doesn't really open in the whole time here. She's never actually told anyone like I really like Sung-min right now. She doesn't really say anything. I don't know.
I think that's
She's
her
not
charm.
genuinely unsure. She knows Hyun-woo is a no.
Yeah,
So
but
just
it's
say
good to
that.
keep your
Give them
cards.
something.
No, but it's like you would keep your cards close to your chest. Like you wouldn't be telling Mina-sue, would you? Or anyone.
Yeah, but at this
if you're in
point,
that
it's so late in
situation.
the game. Like I understand the beginning because like everyone's kind of
No, but,
competition.
yeah, but even now, you wouldn't. Even at this point, you wouldn't be telling anyone like that you've just met.
Well,
10
the
days,
reason I wouldn't tell
9 days ago.
The reason I wouldn't tell Mina-sue or some other people would be because I just
She's the
wouldn't want it to
devil,
get back to the other people. Not
and because
because I
she's a
think they're
chaos
going to take
demon,
my man. But yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like she would start telling other people stuff and it would get back to the
and
people
she'd
that
try
I
to
like.
steal your man as well at any opportunity, or sabotage you.
I don't know about that. I'm not at this point. Not at this point.
No,
I
she
think
would.
if she was to do that now, she knows she'd look bad. Like
She
she
didn't care
does
about
have
looking
that
bad the
much.
whole
She does
time.
have that much awareness that if she's after this Sung-hun thing and everything, if
Does
you
she?
now,
Does
I do
she?
think so. I do think
I
so.
don't think
She's
so.
got that much awareness. So she Go and says like that I don't feel like she's that open with everything. She's always like I'm not sure. So then Go and says the pool date was pretty fun, and in her confessional she says out of all my dates with I-Geon, the pool date was the most memorable. I guess it was for everyone, right?
Yeah,
For all the
for all of
audience.
us.
Yeah. It sort of felt like we were in a grown-up relationship this time on our date. I couldn't get over how hot he was. I just kept thinking to myself, yeah, that man is really good looking. At one point, we stood at opposite ends of the pool, just looking at each other. It felt like he was talking to me with his eyes. That gave me butterflies.
Didn't it give us
Yeah,
all
but the
butterflies?
talking through your eyes, that's the fuckboy thing as well. But that, it's kind of like that undressing you with your eyes kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it was definitely.
That's what that moment was, yeah.
It was a
Um,
moment. That was a moment. I think that was a moment of the season.
yeah, yeah. So the hosts are like, wow, this scene, a legendary scene. They love to hear about this scene.
What
Like it
the
gets them
pool
going, the
scene?
hosts.
The
Yeah.
pool. Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
everyone going. Gets everyone going. What are you talking about? The
So
internet's quite alight about it as well.
Go-eun is in her confessional. She's like, oh no, Go-eun is with the girls, and because she just mentioned the pool date was pretty fun. She says, yeah, it was so hot, referring to the pool date. And then Mina-sue says, oh, even just imagining it is giving me butterflies. I'm so pissed. And the hosts are like, pissed?
What's
Why
wrong
would you
with
say
her?
that? Like, why are you pissed
Because she's
off?
jealous. Because she's showing her jealousy. That's why.
And everyone in that moment probably thought that. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, of course you're going to say you're pissed. Like, what are you angry about? Like, you're jealous.
Stupid Mina-sue.
Jealousy. So then, but I do think that I think she is jealous because I think she wants that passionate kind of relationship with someone. That's why she does chaos. She's chaos. Like, she wants to,
Stop
start
trying to
arguments
demonize
with
her. Okay?
she's
Stop trying to
starting to
demonize her.
argue. She's creating arguments with Subin, and she's trying to keep it spicy. And I think she's looking for I want that passionate kind of That's why
She
Sung-Hoon is
wants a toxic
100%.
relationship.
That's why Sung-Hoon is definitely not the person for her because
Because he's
he's
not
just too
toxic.
nice. He's too
Yeah.
nice. So Han-hae says the fact that she said I'm so pissed, I just think it's a sense of humor. They're all making excuses for her, and Kyung-hoon says, "Oh, you guys are being really understanding of her now. Everything, everyone's tune has just changed." And Han-hae is like, well, we know her better than anyone in Korea, for real. Like, we've got to know layers of her personality. So then Go and asks, how was Sungmin and Hwan-woo yesterday? Like, asking about the people pining, obviously. And then Mina-sue says, well, Sungmin cried a lot. Nah, I'm joking. She said he just talked about you the whole time. He couldn't get you out of his mind. It was go and this, go and that. When you drank, the fun times you had, talked about you a lot. I'm curious. And then she's like, I'm curious who you'll choose.
Of course you are.
Mina-sue's advice is you should think about who makes you the version of yourself you like the most. Her standard line, like that's what she said to Minji. Like, I just think about what versions come out of me with different people. Oh God, she's not the person to get advice from. Okay, Go-eun.
No, never listen to her. No one should ever listen to her.
Yeah, so Da-hee, the female host, says that she thinks that she is most herself, Go-eun, and attractive with I-Geon. And she thinks that she knows it too, like Go-eun knows it, and that's why she will choose him at the end. I thought that she might think that I-Geon brings out her, like, you know, when Mina-sue said, like, you need to think about who brings out the best version of you, what you like the most. I thought in that moment, Go-eun might actually take it on and be like, but I-Geon makes me very jealous in this moment, and I don't like that version of me. So she might spin it. I don't know.
Interesting.
Because if you take that theory, but then some people are like, yeah, but then it's overridden by like all the passion and everything, so they'll oversee it. But in general, but I don't think she thinks negative about being a jealous person. She openly admitted it, like, I'm jealous in a relationship. He said, I'm jealous in a relationship. I think some people take it as a positive.
Yeah, but who isn't jealous in a relationship?
And a sign that I really... So in this moment, it could be a sign for her that I really like him, so I have to be with him. Or it could be like, oh, I don't like that version. I don't want to be, like, jealous all the time. Like, oh, I'm not going to do it. But I think that very rarely in the early stages puts you off a person. I think it makes you want them more when you're jealous.
Yeah.
Later on down the line, like a year in, when you're like sick and tired of like the jealousy and like other people, then you're like, I can't do it anymore. Like I've literally tapped out.
So true.
But I think in the beginning it makes you excited. So anyway, it's coffee dates. We go back to the beginning scene where Sung-hun and Mina-sue were together. And Sung-hun says, I never thought the two of us would get here. This is like our first official date. And they refer to how
He's
they got
so happy,
here.
And I feel so sad for him. Because he's a demon.
Yeah. So they refer to how they got here today and the challenge. Then they flashed back. It was a meal date challenge, couples hat grab. It was a hat grab thing. So it was the guy who draws the pink ball would not be allowed to participate in the game. But the announcer said that if Sung-hun picks the pink ball, they're going to let him have another go because they feel bad. Like, how many times he's been left out? And they all clap and he bows. Like he's like, thank you so much. This great opportunity.
What's it called? Thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Okay, so Sung-hun is really happy he got paired up with Minji in this hat grab because obviously she is like the MVP. And he was like, I was pretty much guaranteed first place. Like, so Minji got on his shoulders, but it was Soobin against Mina-sue.
No, Mina-sue and Soobin against...
Mina-sue and Soobin against Sung-hun and Minji.
Minji.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was the end one because
they didn't show anything else.
The first one was with Ye-jin, and she literally just grabbed her hat straight away.
Yeah, but they didn't show anything else. Like they showed all the other games, and this one, like this episode and the last episode are just like chopped up together. Like it was really poor editing, and they're just like,
but also because now, quick. But also because the meal date it's a meal date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nothing. They're not actually fighting for something exciting because the Paradise Trip's all over. So when Sung-hun realized that he's going to be against Mina-sue, he was like, look, whoever wins, I'm going for the meal date anyway. So he was really excited. He was like, I wanted to let Mina-sue win, but Minji really wanted to win the game really badly, and I figured she'd be pretty mad at me if I threw it, and I didn't want to upset her, so I did my best to try and win it for her and myself. Like, he was scared of Minji a little bit. And also, this was the Minji-Mina-sue fight-off. Like, Minji's not going to back down. Are you crazy? Exactly. This is the moment she wanted. And this is the moment that we all wanted, and the host.
Yeah, I'm happy for her.
So Minji obviously beats her. Right, and then Sung-hun says, I felt kind of bad because Minji did all the work, but man, I was happy because I could finally call Mina-sue's name out loud for the first time for my meal day.
Oh, yeah.
He's so cute. Like, she did all the
Yeah.
work. I did nothing. Like, he knows when to give props to like the right person,
Yeah.
female
He's a
or
nice
not.
guy. It's because he's a
Yeah.
nice guy.
So he picks Mina-sue, obviously, and everyone cheers because they know that this was coming. And then Mina-sue shouts, "Well, we won!" And then we go back to the day, and she says, she brings it down, the moment and the meal and like the mood, and she's like, "I was super bummed I lost." Um, and Sung-hun was like, "What about what about that? Like, bummed you out? Was it because you lost to Minji?" Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
obviously
obviously
it is.
that. Like, that's not what your date wants to hear when he fought so hard for you. Like,
Because
I
he
was
doesn't
really
care.
bummed out. Like,
She,
you should be like, I was just so happy that it would be either of us. You know,
yeah,
be
but
sweet.
it's because she doesn't care about him. She only cares about like optics of everything and like how
Yeah,
she
I
can look
do
at
feel that. I
TV
think
and
it's
that.
all about how she feels.
Yeah, she never cares
I
about other
don't think
people. She's a very
I don't think
selfish
she's gonna
person.
cater to his feelings or like will come from a place of understanding of his feelings.
I don't
Like,
think
he
she
really needed
likes
in that
him. She
moment
don't
for
like
you
him.
to. He really needed in that moment of that meal date for you to just be like present and be nice and sweet. Like, he's been waiting for it the whole time,
I'm
not for
telling
you to be
you,
like, "I'm
for
so
Mina,
sad I lost."
for Mina-sue, he's just an emotional support puppy. Okay, that's all
Yeah.
he is.
So she says, "You're always the." So she spun this. That's what I thought in the moment when she said it as well. Like, "Oh, was it because you lost to Minji?" Obviously she can't say yes to that. Her spin was that you're always the one to kind of express your feelings when these kind of opportunities come up. I don't think that I've ever really expressed my interest in you publicly, at least not out loud to anyone here yet. That's why I wanted to win this time, so I could pick you. And then that obviously that made him happy to hear that because he's simple, and he's like, "Oh, so you're interested?" And she says, "I think I really just wanted to win so that I could publicly announce my interest in you first. I know this wasn't a paradise trip, but even if it was just a special meal day, I thought it would be really nice if I could say out loud I want to have it with him." And he says, "Well, you can do it tonight. Get up, announce to everyone that you like me." And she says, "No." She gets a little shy. "I can't do that. I wanted it that way, like as a challenge." And he says, "Okay, fine." And then
But
she
she
starts.
doesn't. That was a fake shyness because she just don't want to say it because she's not into him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
how I felt the whole time.
She's
I
so
was like,
fake.
"There's
Every move
nothing."
is like calculated and fake.
Yeah, yeah. Or I feel like I don't know if she's aware that she's being fake, but she's not really leaning into
I
her
think she
real true
knows.
feelings because she knows she has to do this. She knows she has to be with Sung-hun at the end because it's gonna
Otherwise
look
she'll
so
leave with no
terrible.
one. And she
Yeah, and
can't
she'll
do
be with
that.
no one.
She's
Yeah,
saving face.
yeah. Um, she said, yeah, so then they start eating and she's like, "Eat up." He says, "You're cute, you're really cute, you know, you're bursting with charm." And then
She looked uneasy when he said that,
she
but
does a
she looked,
pop, like a noise, like burst noise. Do you remember that bit?
yeah, yeah. But she looked uneasy when he's saying that. Like she's acting like she's like so like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
complimented, but she looked uneasy instead.
The fact that she does so much mouth twitching and everything still means that you, when are you dropping your gut? When are you comfortable? Like, there's a reason why you're doing all that mouth thinking, you know? Like, what's happening? Like, if you're really that relaxed and you're so happy with your decision, you wouldn't be so uncomfortable. Because she says, "Oh, I'm so comfortable with you now," but her body language is not comfortable. So what's
Liar,
happening?
liar.
What's happening, Mina
Your
Sue?
motherfucking pants are on fire.
So she's like, "Oh, really? I'm bursting with charm." He's like, "Yeah, you're so cute that I'm going to have to feed you." And then he gives her a bite and then
This is
and
cringy.
you're so cringy, yeah. And then because it's extra cringy because he goes, "Say ah."
And you could tell that she was like, oh, this is so
It
cringe.
was so yeah. Like, it's not making her feel like you're sexy, you know?
Yeah.
like this is not the pool moment that Go-Eun had. She's
No.
like, "Oh, I'm really jealous of that," and she got "say ah." That's not
She's an
passionate. That's
idiot.
not.
She's just an idiot.
So the host read this all terribly wrong as well. I feel they're like, "Oh, Sung-hoon's the cutest on here and the most charming," and then yeah, she
I think
definitely
they're just
makes
trying to
that.
big up Sung-hoon because like he's had it rough and he's a nice guy.
Yeah, they
They all
didn't say
like
anything
him.
about Mina-sue in that moment,
Yeah,
so I
they're not
think they
saying
know
nothing.
that she's not feeling it. But
But they want him to have a nice experience when they watch it when he watches it back because they could say that like, oh, she's finding it cringy. Like everyone could tell she's finding it cringy.
yeah. So he says "say ah," and then she makes a weird face before taking the bite, and he says, "Why did you make that face while eating? Can't you look a bit happier?" And she says, she's quickly thinking about what to say, and then she's like, "Doing this with you feels a bit awkward, like, but not in a bad way though." Come on.
Liar.
He says, "Oh, really?" And she says, "I'm just feeling a bit shy. I usually get awkward around guys that you know I kind of like."
That's
That's
a
a
lie.
cover up. It's a cover up. So he says, "You don't really seem that awkward around me." And then she says, "No, this is me awkward. You should have seen me around other. You should see me around other people." And he says, "So I guess that means you like me." He's getting sucked into her
Oh, God.
web of
He doesn't know how
lies.
he can't read people very well, like as in women.
Yeah. So then she smiles, and then they start talking about the nice weather. Oh my god, another dud point.
Dead conversation.
Yeah. And then it's just something just doesn't ring true for me with her.
Nothing rings true for me with her. Nothing. Everything is a fake facade that she does, that she puts
The
on.
fact that she says, and the fact that again I said, like she said that I'm so jealous means that, but you have Sung-hun.
Oh, I can't
So what
wait
are
for
you
you
jealous
to watch
about?
the reunion.
But isn't it rude to say that? Like if Sung-hun heard that, like, oh, I'm so jealous that you've got such a nice passionate relationship going on there, and I've got like Sung-hun would feel like, oh, okay, like
Yeah, but she
just
doesn't
jealous
care.
everyone else
She
a little
doesn't
bit.
care because she doesn't really care about him, so she doesn't care like if he is that later on or anything.
Yeah. So the hosts say it's so moving watching these two have this kind of conversation. What about the weather? And Mina-sue's a new person right now with him. She's very comfortable around him. She just says she's uncomfortable. The female hosts say, when I see Sung-hoon, I don't think I want a boyfriend like him. I think I want a son-in-law like him.
No, but I know what
Wow,
they
that was
mean.
a
I know what they
big
mean.
dig.
Yeah, but I know what they mean. Like
But
he's not someone you wanna like
when he
boyfriend up
watches this
with.
back again, I feel like, oh, he's going to feel like, oh, for God's sake.
I know, but he is the best. I think he's the best, like nicest in terms of personality guy there. Like he
And
is very
Hyun-jae.
like boyfriend material kind of person.
And Hyun-jae, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Hyun-jae as well.
Um, I think that when that host said that, I think of him as like a boyfriend, but not like a boyfriend, but like a son-in-law. I think that was her nice way of saying like, I don't think Mina-sue's into you.
Yeah, probably, because they can't say these things,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because they're gonna get a lot of
exactly.
hate and things like that, and like you're bullying her and this and that, and they can get their whole jobs cancelled and stuff like that.
Yeah, they talked about it, didn't they? When they
Yeah.
broke the fourth wall kind of thing. I mean, they're breaking the fourth wall already, but then they're like breaking the fifth wall, maybe. So then Jae-jin is looking for Joo-young, and he creepily peeps into the girls' makeup room area, and he's staring and not
Oh
saying
yeah, he's
anything.
so creepy. I
Oh my
just find him
god!
annoying, and creepy.
I don't like in the beginning. Obviously, I thought there's something about him, but it's really dying. Like
Why
they're
did you
going
think there was
down.
something
We're
about
like
him?
the
I never
plane
thought
is
there was something about
crashing.
him.
Like it's not good.
I never ever thought there was anything
the
about him.
girls, the girls start giggling awkwardly in the makeup room, and then Joo-young's like, "I wonder why he's here, just staring at him."
She's like so smitten by everything he does all the time. It's so annoying.
He said he's like, "I wanted to see what you're up to." And then Ha-eun says, "Like, just go to him. Like, he's freaking us all out. Like, it's better you take him away." So ends up. He's like, "Okay, well, nothing's happening." So he ends up walking off with his hands behind his back. And Joo-young's like to the girls, "Why doesn't he come in and say anything? Should I go to him? The fact that he came all this way here, knowing him, that means he's dying to talk things out with me. Should I?" And Han says, "Go, like, take the initiative." Joo-young says, "You're right. I'll go talk to him." So she leaves to go talk to him. And then she says, like, "Where are you going?" to Jae-jin, and he says, "To that hut. Like, do you want to come with me?" And she says, "Why are you so incapable of just asking me for a chat? Just say, come with me. Like, come up to me and say, come with me." Um, and then she says, "What's got into you? Like, why are you acting like a stray cat hoping to be picked up?
But he's
You should
always
have,
like that. She's acting like
yeah,
that's something new.
yeah." And
She's,
she's like, "You should have assertively said, come out and come here. Like, come and talk to me."
well, you didn't pick the right guy then, did you? To go on a date with?
Yeah, I think the stray cat. I think by now for her, she feels like they're after their last paradise trip, they've moved on. Like they are like deeper in a relationship. So she's like, "Why are you still doing that act?
Yeah,
Like that was
yeah.
fine in the beginning, but we moved on. Like let's get into like a proper kind of situation here." So he says, "That's why I came to the cabin. Like I wanted to talk to you. I couldn't just say come out here and when you're getting ready, that would be rude." And she says, "You could have still told me why you came, like and said like, can you meet me after?" And she was like, "It was obvious why you came, but I would like you to just say that instead of doing the stray cat thing." Which I like that she just like said it up front. Like it's annoying now.
True, true.
Um, And I just getting the vibe that like it was in that moment I was like he's too much work for her.
Yeah, that's what I feel as
I
well.
think she's more mature. Like remember when she was talking to Hyun-jae about how she is really close, like her parents and stuff, and she
Well,
was
she got
saying
so
like,
obsessed with him. Like, I think remember that date that they had on the boat, and she was like, "Oh, I like you so much. I like
yeah,
this
yeah.
and I like that, and I know
But
you like me, this and that." She's like
But I
so
think it was early
obsessed
days, and
with
she was saying that in the hopes that he would then like take the next step and be like, okay, this is it, like you're my girl, kind of thing. But that's not happening, so it can make her feel, and it will depend on how things go after. But I think like maybe she's a fast paced kind of person, and he's like taking it slower,
he's a
and it's just
wanderer,
not
like
going
how
in
he
the right.
wanders around everywhere with his hands behind his back, like an
Yeah,
old man.
yeah. Um, So they sit in the hut and she says, look, practice saying, come on, we need to talk, get out here. And he does it in his like monotone voice and makes like a robot joke, saying like, okay, I've received the input of what you're saying. I'm going to do this. Oh, and then Joo-young was like, oh no, do I need to teach you such basic stuff? No one
Yeah,
wants to be doing that in a relationship. That is such a turn
be
off.
the nagger. I can already
Yeah.
see it. Like if
Yeah,
they
you
were
don't want to be the
together,
nagger. Exactly.
yeah, she's gonna be the nagger because she doesn't like anything about him. She just, I don't know what she likes about him. Then, like, it doesn't
No, but
make any
that's what I
sense.
mean. I think she thought he was going to like, now
Change.
that they've got past that awkward initial bit, like now you're going to become your, like the confident person that you
God.
are. Anyway, so he was like, if you told me sooner, I would have done that all along. It's not like I had anything specific to tell you. I just missed you. I wanted to see you. So she gets all warm and fuzzy inside because he said that again. Like, that was his way to spin
Whatever.
things. And the hosts are like, wow, that's even better to hear that he's a poet. I don't know. I don't agree with that. So she's like,
Because
yeah,
they're
it's
saying
been
because
a
he spun
while.
it. He spun it. She was upset with him, and then
Yeah,
he made her like he said something like
yeah.
to melt her, basically.
No, I get it, but I would not
That's
melt
what
in
he
that
was
moment. I wouldn't have melted in
No,
that moment.
not me. Not me either.
Not me. Not today. Not ever. Okay, so Sung-min and Go-eun. Oh God, I'm already exhausted
Can't
thinking
stand
about
that boy.
Sung-min and Go-eun. So he's like, I mean, geez, you're a busy girl, very busy. And then she says, I am, but you and I talked a lot before I left. Like you did literally like corner her.
Yeah, she's trying to say get
You
away.
tell him.
She's trying to say get
Huh?
away from me. She's trying to say
Yeah,
get
you
away from me.
tell him. Like, what do you mean? You're hogging me all the time. So he says, I wasn't worried though. No, actually, that's a lie. Like I was. And they start laughing. And she says, like, I heard a rumor that you cried, teasing him. And he says, I didn't cry. I wailed. And they both start laughing. And he asks, did you guys have good chats? She says, yes. And he says, has your mind changed at all? She says, I don't know. I just feel like I had these different versions of myself. I just have these different versions of myself. You know what I mean? It's the Mina-sue theory, I guess. So I keep thinking to myself, and I'm trying to figure out who will cherish me the most. I'm also thinking about what I'm like when I'm spending time with each of you. So again, that's that Mina-sue theory of like, what am I like? I mean, I'm jealous with him. I'm comfortable with Sung-min, but also when she says like, who
Venus
will
got in her
cherish,
head.
huh?
It's just stupid.
Mina-sue,
Venus got
yeah.
in her head.
So, and then when she says, I'm trying to figure out who will cherish me the most, I also felt like she feels like from I-Geon, he's like cherishing Ha-eun with his words. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
interesting
he's not
thought.
actually cherishing me the most because he's got someone else he's thinking about as well. Not in a loving way, but some people also get jealous if you have like sibling. Do you know this?
Yeah, attention and things like
Like
that.
like boys that have sisters and things like that, they do get jealous of the like relationships and the attention of. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's like the similar story for the mum. Like, why do you spend like so much time with your mum? Like that kind of thing where like, oh, your mom's so important to you. Like, your sister's so important. Like, what about me? Kind of thing.
Well, yeah. No,
But basically, the main thing was
yeah.
that when she said, "Who's going to cherish me the most?" I think there's been moments where she doesn't feel like he was prioritizing her, and he was like not cherishing her because he's talking about her.
Yeah.
So Sungmin says, I think it will come down to who you want to get to know better, and that decision rests completely with you. The ball's in your court. And she agrees. She asks, like, what is it about me that you like exactly? And he says, this is exactly what I like. Conversations like this. This is not a conversation. This is you just asking,
God.
interrogating her about who do you like? Is your feelings changed? Like, no one wants to hear that all the time. It's so annoying. Um, so he was like, I don't get those thoughts about you, about like what I should talk about. How should I keep the conversation going? Oh
By
my
the
God.
way, he's the most
That is
disliked
worrying.
person. They did a survey, and he's the most disliked person from the whole season of Singles Inferno.
That is so funny. So we're not alone.
No,
This is what he's giving off. Like,
I
this is the
can't stand
energy he's
watching
giving off to
him.
all of us. I'm sorry. If there's another side to you, Sung-min, you should have tried to show it, because this is what you're giving off. Like, we're receiving terrible, like, personality. Terribleness.
By the way, guys, we're also going to be recapping Bloodhounds season 1 first, and we know season 2 is coming out soon. But Mimi's just watching because I watched it a while ago, and she's just watching it right now, and she's like on episode 2. She's liking it so far.
Yeah. So the fact that he was like, I don't get those, like, how do we keep this conversation going and stuff? I don't get that with you. She does look disappointed in his response, because that's not what you want to hear when someone's like, what do you like about me exactly? It's all about him. Like, I like how you make me feel. I like how comfortable I am. Like, what about her?
Because you can tell he's an egocentric person because he's always talking. Like, people that always talk are just like, ugh, it just grates on me so much. Like, I can't stand it.
So he continues. He's like, he took me by surprise, and I was very different from and it was very different from what I originally thought it would be based on your looks. So that also made me attracted to you. He said this, and he said that to her last time as well. It's just all about him. I just can't stand it. So he says, I think in paradise we spent the whole day together, and it went really well and smoothly. He's just so lukewarm, with his sentiments and his feelings. It's like, no.
He's got no substance to him.
No. So, and then he asked, what are you going to wear tonight? I'll match my outfit to yours. Ugh.
Gross.
That is not hot.
No, but that's
I don't want you to match your outfit to mine.
Excuse me, that's what Korean couples do. They do that. Like, when you're in a couple relationship, they like everyone likes to match.
Isn't that too much? You're not in a couple.
Yeah, it is too much, I think.
No
one wants to match with you.
You're like imposing yourself and like forcing yourself on her in another way now. You found another way to be creepy. Great. Okay, so I-Geon and Ha-eun walk over, and he said, so they're talking to each other, and then from the corner from the blind spot, comes Ha-eun and I-Geon, and then I-Geon says to her, here she is, found her, and then looks over to her and says, see me? Like, trying to get her attention, like, you see me here, right?
Yeah.
And then the hosts cringe because they're like, Kyung-hun says, please think, I-Geon, please don't, like, be careful with your words. And then he starts closing his eyes, and he's like, oh no. So Go-eun puts the thumbs down and says, minus 500 points. Don't, like, please, I-Geon, don't turn her off. I just thought in the moment, don't make her go for lukewarm. Like, do not make her go for, like, Sung-min. Like, we don't want that. We want the red hot passion. We don't want the, oh God. Please, I can't. Don't make her turn to someone else. But what did you think of that thing when he was like, see me?
I thought he was just doing his typical fuckboy thing, like, and then.
Yeah,
like,
but would you would you be turned off by it? Would you like it or not?
I wouldn't like it, but it just make me like want
I wouldn't mind it.
It would make me want him more, kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't take it offensively. I would be like, this guy's trying to get my attention. He likes me.
Yeah, he's trying to get her attention.
Yeah,
you can also tell.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah. But she's pissed by it, I think, because she said minus.
But again, one of her things is like how you talk is important to me. Right?
Okay.
So all the things that she's told him, he's kind of like not living by her rules, I guess. So so then they walk off, Ha-eun and I-Geon, and she's like, what did you do that for, Ha-eun? Says to him. And he just says, oh, Ha-eun, like, I'm just trying to like do something, like, stop trying to bust my ball. So then Go-eun watches them go off, and Sung-min says, where is that guy going? He's so weird. Look in the mirror. You're the weird one. Okay. The host Jin-young says, I think he was just joking. Like, I didn't think he mean anything by it. But the others say, even if he's still... Huh?
He's just negging.
Yeah. So the others are like, even if he's he's painstakingly built this tower. Like, he's made such an effort with her, and he's just going to knock it over himself by doing all these things. He's just being a bit complacent. So Kyung-hun says, this does show, however, this does, however, show how much Go-eun is affected by I-Geon. Despite sitting with Sung-min, she can't take her eyes off him ever since he showed up, which is true. So then Da-hee says, the host says, someone saying, see me, you would definitely grab your attention. Like, obviously, your attention will be grabbed. But it also makes you want to go like, ugh. No. I didn't feel that. I felt like he was, I don't know. So Han-hae says he definitely has a raw masculine appeal, but the things he says and does take something away from it, which I think is the reason why Go-eun is feeling so torn. But I think that's part of the raw masculine energy, isn't it? Where he's like, I'm the man right now. I'm gonna step on Sungmin's toes. Like, I have to say something big to make a scene. So the female hosts say, if we look at this positively, it seems to me that she's past the point of something like this would be enough to turn her off him completely. I think that it just bothers her, which is true. I think she really does like him, that she will tolerate anything he does now. That's how I feel. Like, she'll get annoyed in the moment, but she's going to interpret it as though this is the person I like.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, if I was...
And they also say, like, she's always telling him, like, oh, but can't you just be nice to me? Which shows how much she likes him.
Yeah.
Like, every time she does that. So then Ha-eun is with I-Geon and asks him, how did it go yesterday then in Paradise? And he says, oh, Go-eun and I had a great time, actually. She says, then what were you just doing? Like, why did you say that to her just then? And he goes,
What did he say?
And then then they move on to something else, and he's like, I just fell asleep. I was with her the whole time yesterday, so I'm sure there are plenty of things to catch up on. So I haven't really talked to her. So that's why I'm leaving them be. Like, I'm not gonna like push myself on her. And then I-Geon says,
it's not his nature to be like Sungmin.
And we see that later.
Like,
no.
Yeah, clingy and like gross.
No. So then I-Geon says in his confessional, I spent all day yesterday talking to Go-eun in Paradise, just the two of us. So being back here at Inferno, I thought it was only right to give her a chance to talk to the other guys that she was also interested in.
Fair enough.
They flash back, yeah, which I think is fair. They flash back to Go-eun and Hyun-woo, and she asks, why didn't you choose... So these are examples of the moments that he let her have her moments with the other guys. So she asks Hyun-woo, why didn't you choose anyone yesterday? Why did you just forfeit it? He says, I'm not interested in anyone but you. And then the next scene was Sungmin saying, I won't change my feelings. My feelings won't change. They're going to stay exactly the same as they are now, no matter what. Hyun-woo says, whoever you choose, I'll respect it, but I'll try to do everything I can on my part.
Suffocators. They're the suffocators.
And then I-Geon says back in the confessional, but watching her actually, I let her talk to them, but actually watching her talk to them made me think I should be talking to her too. Like, it started getting me irritated. So the host think he should... the host thought that when she was talking about talking to those guys, she would have just ended them, like just said no to them, but that didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
And she's still entertaining it a little bit. So they're like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
which is true. Like, at least shut Hyun-woo down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But she's trying to keep her close to the chest. Like, she just acts like that. Like, I mean, that's her personality. She doesn't let things on. I don't think, you know what I mean? Some people like to keep everything close to their chest. You're quite like that too. Like,
yeah, but it's pretty obvious, I think, to everyone in Inferno, everyone that's watching, and herself, that you don't like Hyun-woo. So cut him loose at least.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to. Maybe she finds that like uncomfortable as well to do that. Like, she doesn't want to have that
but we didn't really hear her side of the conversations and all that. They were just showing examples of the other two being like relentless. But she might have said, like, to Hyun-woo when he said, "Oh, you know, my feelings aren't going to change." She might have said to them, like,
"Back off, bitch."
Not that would never happen. But I'm sure she would have said, like, "Look, I think I'm like thinking about Sungmin and I-Geon." And
yeah, maybe.
At the end of the day, he's still going to stand in front of her, isn't he? In the island when they all split up. Let's be honest. So she knows that she can't change his mind in that respect. So later that evening, I-Geon approaches Go-eun to talk, and he says, "Oh, everyone's so dressed up," and she says, "Yeah, you should dress up too." And Sungmin looks over and says to Subin and Seung-il, because he's watching them go off together, and he's like, "Wow, this is interesting. It keeps on going in a different direction that I don't like. I'm at a total loss. We're all just taking turns talking to her over and over again." So then in that moment, I thought again, like, he's probably just like, give me an answer.
Oh, yeah.
And she's not giving them an answer, so it's annoying that they have to keep talking to her.
Yeah, I understand why they're pissed. I understand why he's pissed at this point as well, because I'd be pissed as well. Like,
yeah, there's no clarity or direction so late in the game.
Yeah.
So Sungmin says she's constantly pulled away, like constantly. So Go-eun and I-Geon are together, and he asks, "How do you feel?" And she says, "Unsettled and uncertain, confused a bit." He wasn't expecting this. I don't think he was expecting that answer. like I said, I think when he got back from paradise, I think he thought everything was like set between them. So he thought she was going to go to the guys and their whatever situations.
Oh yeah, maybe,
And
yeah.
so
You're right.
I don't think he was expecting the uncertainty and the confusion. So that's
Yeah,
why he's all confused as well.
yeah.
So then she asked, "How have you been since paradise?" And he says, "Look, since you and I were able to talk a lot yesterday, I thought your priority was, well, I thought you should talk to the other guys." I think he was hinting like to sever the ties. So I left you alone to do that. But then it occurred to me that I shouldn't have let that happen because you weren't doing that, cutting the ties. Watching you talk with another guy made me realize that I'd made a big mistake. I shouldn't give them any kind of opening. And she says, "That's why you brought me here to talk." And she's loving it and asks like, what did you think about yesterday? And he says, "You couldn't tell?" And she says, "I just wanted to hear it again." And he goes, "Yeah, I knew you were just asking because you wanted to hear me say it." And she says, "Yeah, but you're not telling me, you're rebelling." And he says, "Partly, look, I think I have a tendency to be that way. One reason might be that I'm not great at expressing myself around other people, but when it comes to my girlfriend or even my family, I notice that I can be really, really expressive." He says, "Maybe because our relationship is ambiguous at this moment, I feel myself being clumsy around you and showing this weird rebellious side. But because we had such a good time when we were in paradise together, I just assumed that you would know how I felt." She says,
He just laid it all out for her, basically.
"Yeah, I think he's saying like, I thought you knew how I felt. I thought we were in it
Yeah,
together.
that was quite clear to me. That was quite clear.
Yeah, and I thought you were just going to shut things down and we would be in our relationship, so I wouldn't have to be this weird way." And she says, "I think I need you to show more affection towards me before I make my decision tomorrow." He nods and he says, like, "I'll see you this evening." And then they have this lingering stare where they're looking at each other, and then they're like,
Love their
"Let's go have
style.
dinner before we like make out here," which is never
Yeah,
going to
they
happen.
just
But
want to jump
like,
on each other.
before we jump on each other,
Yeah, it always looks like they just want to jump on
it
each
could
other.
never happen in this program, obviously. But I am still
Yeah.
holding out hope for the moment where they actually kiss somewhere in one of these seasons. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, it makes when I see it sometimes I think like, do they kiss? Do they know how to kiss?
No,
Like, I
it's
just
like
think like,
they
okay,
don't want to. It's like they don't want to do that kind of stuff on TV because,
no,
like,
I know they're families and
yeah,
it's not
everything.
appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
No.
Yeah.
So as they walk towards the dining area, he says, "I will do my best to be more expressive towards you tonight." And then the hosts say, "Look, even in the face of crisis, they managed to pull through." Like they thought that the conversation would take a nosedive, but then they're like,
He's a skilled. He's skilled.
"His
He's skilled.
points
That's
are
what he
no
said.
longer in the negative," because remember she gave him -500. So
Yeah.
then Han-hae says she doesn't want to receive love from just anyone. She wants to receive love from the person that she loves too.
Yeah. True.
So that's why she's asking for it from him. Like, I think you need to show more affection. She doesn't say that with Sung-min and Hwan-woo, obviously.
Yeah.
They
Isn't
don't
that
get
what?
it.
Yeah. But isn't that what everyone wants? Like to like receive love from the person that they like.
Yeah,
Like.
obviously, I don't want to receive love from anyone else
Yeah.
that I
Exactly.
don't like. I don't want to receive love from the people I don't like.
Yeah. That's gross to me. Oh, but Mina-sue
That's
wants that. No, hang on,
weird.
wait. Some people do. Mina-sue wants
Oh,
that.
okay. That's the people that just want the attention. Like,
Yeah.
like I like to be
Attention
lusted
seekers.
after, and
Yeah.
So they say the relationship between these two would depend on how well he follows her orders that she just gave him. She asked him to be more communicative to show her how much he cares. So if he follows through, then he's her choice. So did you think it all like? Did you think it was that like fragile that if he only like followed through? I didn't feel that. I felt like
No.
she told him to do that, but
I think
I
he's
think
pretty clear about his feelings for her and everything, so she should
yeah.
be secure about
And I
it.
think he was honest that like in a group, I don't know these people as well, like really, like this is a
Yeah.
group, awkward group. I'm not just gonna
And
like jump up
and
on
he's
you.
like late to the game as well, so he
Yeah.
doesn't know them, and they're not.
So
They're all bonded. You know, like how
I think he
Sung-min
has
and
enough excuses.
Hyeon-woo are like this now.
Yeah. I think he has enough excuses that she will like, even if he didn't approach her, she'd be like, okay, it's fine. So, oh my god. Then in my head, before they even said anything, I was like, oh my god, I think it's campfire tonight. And the reveals. So Go-Eun approaches and
Oh
says,
yeah.
"Where will I sit tonight?" And she starts looking around, and Sungmin says, "Let's sit here." Oh,
Oh God, he's like a leech. For God's sake, get away from her.
he
Okay.
really is. He's a limpet. They just stick on the same rock
Oh,
and they just don't let go. So Egon watches and he's ready to make his move. So we think. So Hwan-woo sits the other side of her and he takes his shirt off. So she's trapped between Hwan-woo and Sungmin again, and he decides to take his shirt off. Maybe this is his move, I don't know. And then she's like, it's cold.
No, he's taking it off because he wants to put it
Oh
down
yeah, because it's fine.
to save his seat.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
no one can. So Egon can't go sit there.
yeah.
No one can sit
So
there,
then it
but
ends up
Egon can't.
it's quite cold, and so Egon does his little bit of affection by giving some gloves to Go-Eun. He just throws it at her without looking at her because he's so awkward around everyone.
Egon, are
He's
you talking about Egon or
Egon,
Hyun-woo?
yeah.
Oh,
No, Egon.
okay.
So Sungmin announces he's having soju today. I'm having soju today. Seriously.
No one cares. No one cares.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I literally wrote that in my notes. No one cares. That is so
We
funny. I wrote
twins
in
there.
capital.
We
I wrote
twins.
in capital letters. No one cares. Does
It's
he
so
think he's a bad man? Is
annoying.
that why he's saying it? Like, I'm a bad man. I'm having soju today. Seriously.
God, he's so boring.
Okay. And then the host note that Egon obviously is like sitting further away, so he's kind of back down. So Ha-eun says, "Where are you going to sit?" to him, and then Egon and then tells him, "Look, just sit here with me, like the three of us with Ye-jin." And he says, "Are you flying with me?" as a joke. I'm not sure if Go-Eun heard that, but she did look a little bit annoyed. But why? Why do that again? Anyway, I think it's harmless, obviously, again, but just keep your mouth shut, Egon. So then the two guys are like around Go-Eun and they get up and Egon leans back. So those two guys, Hyeon-woo and Sungmin, go to do the barbecue stuff.
Yeah.
And Egon leans back from his seat because he realizes Go-Eun's alone. And he says, "Hey, I want to talk to you." Go-Eun says, "Yeah, I was expecting you to talk to me. Let's keep talking." So Ye-jin's in the middle and says, "Look, should we swap places?"
I thought
To
they should have said yeah. Like she should have just
Yeah,
what?
and not even yet. Ye-jin should just say that and just get up.
Yeah, get
Like,
up. Stop
just say for
ruining
the sake of
a
like
love
saying it, but
story.
just get
Yeah,
up.
stop ruining a love story.
Enough story.
Yeah.
Okay. So she says in her confessional, Go-Eun, "In paradise he seems so cool and handsome to me, Egon, but back in Inferno he suddenly seemed really cute. Almost acting childish in a way that is like a cute vibe that I noticed that made me think, so there's a whole other side to him as well." Ding ding ding, I thought winner. Because when you start saying like I see the different layers and like I see like he's different kind of like he's got different
Yeah. Of
sides to
course he's
him,
gonna be cuter
that's a sign
there.
of a girl that likes someone.
Yeah, but when you're alone, he's gonna be more lusty, and when
Obviously.
you're
He
like with
said
a group of
that.
people, he's gonna be cuter because also he's not trying to show all his feelings and everything in front of everyone. Like no one wants to do that. Like be
No,
so
he said
vulnerable.
that himself. And she said that as well. Like when we're in a group setting I find it difficult. So she should understand. So Joo-young sits in between Hyun-jae and Jae-jin, and Jae-jin says to
Why?
Hyun-jae, Jae-jin says to why no again, but why is Hyun-jae doing that now?
Yeah, because don't you get it? Stop like that's why I
Yeah,
don't think like how you said he's him and Sung-hun are the best guys, but like it's not a good guy thing to do. Like it's not chase after someone who doesn't want you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and she's made it so
This is where
clear so
Hyun-jae
many
went wrong.
times.
Yeah, this is where Hyun-jae went wrong. So Jae-jin says to Hyun-jae, "Oh, you finally got the seat you wanted," sarcastically, because you're next to
Yeah, because
Joo-young.
now he's just making it blatantly clear,
Yeah,
like back off.
yeah, and Hyun-jae says, why are you guarding it for me?" and laughs. So Jae-jin says, "No, I was hoping you'd come a bit later, or maybe just sit somewhere else." So Hyun-jae says, "Oh, just let me have it for today." And Jae-jin says, "It's not just today. You're always sitting next to her." And
Yeah,
Joo-young will like this. Obviously, in the moment, I thought like this is what she wanted. She wanted him to be a bit more assertive and like speak up for
and
their
it's nice to have
relationship.
like two guys fighting over you as well.
No, but I think after their conversation where she was like, just can you
Back
just
off.
say like, come chat to me, like,
Oh,
that kind of thing.
I
Like
thought
be
you
a
were talking
bit
about
more like
Hyun-jae.
we've progressed in our relationship, so act like it. So
Yeah,
that's what Jae-jin's doing. Like, she's my girl, back off kind of thing. Like fighting for her, she wanted that.
yeah.
So the hosts say, Jae-jin the poet being so direct all of a sudden. And Joo-young says to Jae-jin, this is a change. You're a bit different today, and she's loving it. And he smiles and then leans up against her with his drink, like awkwardly. Yeah, I don't like that kind of weird stuff where they're like, I'm gonna just lean into
Yeah.
you like that. Be a bit more like strong about it, you know. Put your arm around her, do something.
Not
So
very strong.
Henry,
He's like a blade of grass. He's like very skinny. Like he could just fall over. He could just collapse.
a
Like the
blade
wind
of
could
grass.
blow. Yeah, the wind could
He's
blow
obviously
and he
very.
could fall
I think
over.
he's stronger than we think. Like
Yeah, the abs
dancers are
probably keep
quite
him
strong.
up. The abs keep him
Yeah,
upright.
dancers are strong, but yeah. Henry comes up to Go-Eun and asks, "Are you eating?" In the meantime, my mouth is like stuffed full of food. Like he's literally got no game. Like,
Yeah, they keep putting food in her plate like crazy. Like, it's
I
crazy.
know. And she says, "Yeah, I'm eating lots." Like, look, my mouth. And then he says, "Great, you should. I mean, like two. I'm eating two over there." Like, he's so dead. Was
Yeah, like he's got no
this
game at
your
all.
like? I'm going to keep trying. Is that your move? Oh
He's
my god.
gameless.
So Go-eun says in a confessional, Hyun-woo and Sung-min each took turns bringing me plates of meat to make sure I was eating. The two of them just wouldn't stop. Minji notices and says, "What's going on over there?" Like in the campfire. And Egon says in his confessional, "I had a good view and I saw that Hyun-woo and Sung-min um were waiting like hand and foot on Go-eun, almost like they were her personal servants. I couldn't tell that she even wanted that though. Plus, even if it were like what she wanted, I just couldn't act that way. That's not
Yeah,
me.
neither could
Ultimate,
I. Like, if I was
yeah,
him, like,
no. Ultimately, my goal is to win her over without having to lose myself in the process. That's what I'm striving to do till the very end. And I think that's a good thing.
yeah, it's like a normal
You
thing.
don't want to let yourself down because
Yeah,
very often in dating programs and stuff, you turn and like you become this gross
like,
version of yourself.
yeah.
And I think he's trying to stick true to himself. So that
Yeah,
was all
I think
very
he's
nice.
made effort, like where he needs to make effort and things like that. Yeah, and he showed her what his intentions are towards her and stuff.
Yeah, he's done
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah, I think at this point, from a communication standpoint, I think Goen. Well, I don't know. She's explained herself as well pretty well, like with the things that she likes in a relationship. So Joo-young
yeah.
calls out to Ye-jin and asks her to come over. And in the meantime, Goen turns to Sungmin and says, "You should eat, you paper human." That was so funny because she
What?
turned to Sungmin when
I
she's
don't
sitting next
recall
to him,
it.
like she's like, "You need to eat." Goen said to Sungmin, "You need to eat. You should eat, you paper human." So she's
I
moved on
missed
to calling
that.
him a paper human instead of a paper doll.
I missed that.
So funny. So he gets up and Goen's on her own again. So Egon downs some coke, and then I don't know if it's coke spiked or something. It looked like he needed some courage or something. And Howard sits next to him, is looking at him, and says, she's like looking over him in disgust, and she's like, "Why did you drink my soda?" It was like a proper
Like a
like
sibling thing.
sibling moment where you're like,
Like
"Oh,
disgusted.
why did you just do that to my drink?"
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, was it yours?" He was like, "Oh, we share everything anyway." Goen's listening to that, and then Howard says, "Are you like this with Goen too?" And then he says, "Of course not." Like acting like, "I'm doing this with you because you're like my sibling. I would not do that with her. I like her." But Goen could misinterpret these things. But in my mind, I was like, "No, you're sick. Like you're like my sister."
Yeah.
So Go and laughs because I think maybe she was getting it in that moment as well. She was understanding the dynamic. So
Yeah.
he asks Goen, "Are you going to drink Are you going to drink soju?" And she says, "Yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Want some?" And he says, "Yeah, later. Why are you drinking soju?" And she says, "Well, he wanted to drink it," referring to Sungmin. Um, won't soju make me less puffy tomorrow? Hyun-woo comes over and says, were you two having a good chat?" Like he's getting annoyed. And he's bought some more food and she says, so tasty. But Egon's getting more and more irritated because every time he like tries to talk to her, like one of those two idiots keep coming in.
Yeah. Like at this point, I'd just be like, Hyun, can you just please swap? If I was Egon
Yeah.
with her, because I'd be like, I can't take it if I was him. Like those two are just like all over her constantly, and
Yeah, but
I was fine with her.
I think at this point, I think Egon's also wanting her to do that.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's like, why
yeah, she could
can't
do that as well. She could do that as well. Yeah,
like
you're right.
I've
You're right.
told you how I feel, and
You need to
so,
make
and
more
he's
of it
kind
as
of got
well.
this ego now. He's saying like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to change myself. That's not my type of personality.
Yeah, true.
So why don't you get up if you
Yeah.
like me?
I would if I was him, I'd be that way as well. Like, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because it's true. She doesn't like them. What you don't
yeah.
like them? Why don't you
But
get up and
she,
go Egon?
but I
I
think
don't know.
she,
It's a
yeah,
waste of your time. Like you're wasting your time where you're
yeah.
trying to figure
True,
out
true,
your
true.
feelings for Egon. So Minji says a lot of people are still feeling uncertain to Seung-il, and she said, and he goes, "Well, it must be fun for them." Well, I don't understand what he meant by that. Like he's probably like, "Oh, we're out the honeymoon stage. Like it's so boring." Like they're
He's
going through the
so
exciting
stupid.
stage. And she says, "Why do you feel so low energy? I mean, just quiet." No, she goes, "I feel so low energy. I mean, I feel like so quiet and so calm." And Seung-il says, "I don't think you're quiet at all, Minji. You're definitely calm down though." She gives him like a look, like an annoyed look, and they start laughing. And Jae-jin looks over, like again, it is like that thing of like they are like an old married couple ish.
Mhm.
So Jae-jin overhears and he says, "You two are so funny." And Seung-il starts doing a weird laugh, like, and Jae-jin says, I told you, no, Minji says, I told you not to copy my laugh. It sounds so ridiculous. And he goes, you're copying me. And she says, this is how I normally laugh. You're copying me. And then Mina-sue points out, all the couples are sitting here. So Mina-sue's with Sung-hun, and she goes, look, all the couples here have been to paradise together. We're the only ones that haven't.
Which is always like looking at things and like, you know, calculating things
Yeah.
and analyzing.
Getting jealous. Yeah. And Sung-hun says it is romantic there. So the others look over to the two of them, to Sung-hun and Mina-sue, and Ye-jin says, I'm so curious about those two. Let's watch their faces. Sungmin says, Sungmin says, I think Mina-sue is older than him. Minji says, oh yeah, we can reveal our ages now. So the hosts get all excited. But, you know, I found it exciting, but then I didn't I didn't find it exciting because they
Because
didn't
we
all
already
reveal
know.
their stuff. Yeah, and they cut out all that stuff. But sometimes in previous seasons, they still mention, even though we know, they still mention it to each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they cut it out because everyone doesn't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. This season, the last two episodes are edited so poorly. Like everything else was edited so well, don't you think?
Yeah, I think everyone would have been surprised. Obviously, everyone was surprised to hear about Sung-hun Wall Street thing, obviously. But then there's other surprising things like the baseball, like Subin being a baseball player,
You're getting ahead of yourself. Yeah, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Minji being a track athlete. But they don't mention that. Now I'm saying it now because they don't talk about it at all. It's all cut. They don't talk about their reveals.
Okay.
But Sung-hun was first, and he says he's nervous to reveal as
That was
him and
cute.
Mina.
Like, because he's such a nice, sweet guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, because they've not been to paradise with each other, this is kind of a new territory for Singles Inferno because he was like, I'm really nervous. I really like her and we're the couple, but I'm really nervous to reveal to Mina-sue because we don't know each other's ages or anything. So Minji says, look, don't worry, you'll be fine, Sam. And only Hyeon knows his age, right? Out of everyone, because he's only been with
Oh
Hyeon.
yeah.
She's the only one that knows anything about him. So in his confessional, Sung-hun says, I thought it would end up being a shock to me if she turned out to be older, so I was suddenly a bit nervous when the time came to reveal everything. And Hyun-jae says when they're in the campfire, he's like, oh, I think we're the same age. Let us be the same age, me and you, Sung-hun, because I think they're pretty close now. So they're guessing, everyone's guessing, oh, 02, Joo-young says 98, 97, and he says, yeah, I was born in 98. And he gets up, and then he gets all, like, excited, and he's like, okay, he points to Mina-sue, he's like, well, and you? Like, what are you? And then she says, wait, you have to finish your job. Like, come sit down. Come on, tell us.
Well, she
And he
doesn't
says,
care
look,
at all. Like, I think you can tell she doesn't care about any of this. Yeah.
no. Again, like, yeah, she doesn't want to make him feel like he needs to be
Hang on, have you
happy in
got?
that moment. Like,
Wait,
calm him down. Like, tell him.
yeah. So you were saying?
So he says, well, I changed jobs a few years ago. I was an AI developer in Google, but now I'm a hedge fund trader in New York, a quant trader. Yeah, because I really like maths. So Hyun-jae next to him says, wow, that's amazing. Hence the
Everyone's so
economics books.
impressed
Yeah, everyone's so impressed. And they're like,
because he
cool,
has the
that's so
best job.
cool. And then Mina-sue tries to dim his light by saying, you made it so obvious. You were reading a freaking math book.
Yeah.
Like, why does he have to like burst his bubble? Everyone is so impressed, and you're the person who's meant to like him is bringing him down.
And no, because
not
like
nice.
he's better than her. That's why he's better than her, and that she's upset. And now also she her eyes popped as well when she found out like what his job is and everything. Because she's like, yeah, you'll get to that bit in a second.
I don't know. Yeah. So Hyun-jae says like I expected that because I think he realized he was like smart. So Seung-il says impressive. Look at you, brainy guy. And then Sung-hun realizes he's going to find out about Mina-sue and says, wait. He has like a moment. He's like, I need to like take a moment before I hear your age. So he backs into Hyun-jae.
Yeah, and
Hyun-jae's holding him.
They're very close, but those two are very close.
Hyun-jae's holding him, and he's like really afraid.
Oh,
and then she's
so
like 99, and he was like, yeah, let's go. And high fives Hyun-jae like he literally won a trophy. Oh, you're getting so excited for no reason. I want him to calm down. Like, don't go that high up because you're going to come like crashing down. I feel bad. So she emphasizes, yeah, but I am early 99, trying to put him off. Like, I feel like that's like trying to put him off again. Like,
yeah,
you just said 99. You gave him what he wanted. So why would you say, but
because
I'm
she doesn't
early
care.
99? Like, are you trying to make him think, oh no, it won't work? It's like weird. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she doesn't care about him.
Look, 99, don't worry, yay. you wouldn't be like, yeah, but I'm early 99, so is that going to pick you off? Like, you're trying to make him get put off because you don't want to do the dirty work.
Yeah, because she's acting like she likes him, but like in the back of her mind she doesn't like him, so she's trying to put him off. Like
Yeah.
subconsciously she's trying to put him off, and this is coming out like evil, like she is.
Yes. Yeah. So she says, I'm a communications manager at the University of Illinois, but I'm currently interning at a beauty company. So Sung-hun says, my interest in Mina-sue increased after hearing her Asian job. It made me think we can definitely pursue our relationship after this show ended. So I was really happy. But,
No,
but I don't
Sung-hun,
think
no.
she didn't say her job's in Korea. So I
No,
think in that
she's
moment,
interning in Korea, she said.
she's interning in Korea. But when she said it out loud to everyone on the campfire, and at that point, I don't think he realized that the internship is not in America. She's studying there. And she said, I'm doing a beauty internship now. But she didn't say in Korea.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think, again, for him, he is like, I need my girl in America, like
Yeah,
near
yeah.
me. So Mina-sue says in her confessional, my ideal type is someone who works in IT, actually, like in STEM. So I could
Yeah,
definitely see a future with him after the show.
that's
Sure.
not an ideal type. That's not what an ideal type means, okay, you dumbass.
Yeah,
And also,
exactly.
she's just saying that.
I was like,
Yeah. No,
ideal type, be someone in IT.
yeah, no,
Weird.
but she's saying that because she like her eyes pinged when he's rich, yeah, when she realized he's rich, yeah, and she's like, oh yes, this is my ideal type now.
So her ideal type is someone rich,
Yeah.
basically. So she
And
was like, I'm very
I think the
excited about that.
host like guessed that like caught onto that as well, like, oh, he's got money, so he's become your ideal type now. Okay, that's what I think. Like they're
Well, no,
when
the
they were
hosts were
like,
like, oh, he really is her ideal type. He is. Like,
yeah,
they're
because I
just
think they're
not
saying it
seeing it.
sarcastically. I think they're saying it sarcastically, like, oh yeah,
I
clearly
don't
he's
know. I
your
need a
ideal type.
reunion on the hosts too.
Well, they
Now that
have
they
been on
watched it
shows.
back and they like, I want to
Well,
see.
I've bookmarked some shows and stuff, like Korean shows that they've been on, like on YouTube, like clips and stuff that you can watch, like their reactions to stuff.
Have they done podcasts? Have they done like interviews about the program themselves?
Yeah, like on other like Korean variety shows and stuff. Like
Oh, okay.
they've been on that, and it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So they don't show any other reveals, and instead they move on to a truth and dare game, kind of no truth game. So Hyun-jae says, "I'll start," and picks out Jae-jin, who straightens up in his seat straight away. He's like, "Okay, we're going to battle." And Hyun-jae asks, "What was the most heart-fluttering moment with Joo-young?" And Jae-jin smiles and says, um, there was this time when we chatted while walking." They flashback to this conversation where she was like, he says they're walking away, and he says, "I wish I brought the Polaroids with me. They're in my bag, and they're holding hands." And he says at the campfire, being with her felt like she was my girlfriend, so that made my heart flutter. So she smiles and nods, sitting next to him. So then Mina-sue asks, here we go.
Oh,
Mina-sue has got something to say, Subin! And the host basically side-eye.
everyone's eyes like pop open, like, oh my god, Mina-sue's that again.
Yeah, most of the hosts are like side-eyeing this, like, Subin, what? And then Jin-young and Han-hae say, like, she's just tying up loose ends now, or helping him out,
No,
they think.
well, I don't
Giving her
think
the
they're
benefit of
she's
the
helping
doubt.
him out. I think she's still really into him, and she's trying to see if she's got a chance still. I think
Yeah.
that's her angle.
So she asks him, when was the moment you became certain about your feelings for Hee-sun? And he says, the moment I was completely sure was when I saw her in the game, that she was the challenge. I thought she was really impressive. Um,
That was really
I
like bad.
can't get a read on
Yeah.
Hee-sun. where do you feel, where's Hee-sun's head right now in this campfire? What do you
I don't
think?
think she's happy. I think that was a shitty answer, like just like
Yeah.
the host said. Yeah, the
Yeah,
host
yeah.
is the one to say that.
I
Like,
thought
what
that
kind of
as well.
stupid answer was that? Like, what's
Yeah.
wrong with Stephen?
Yeah, it was very bland. It was very, again, lukewarm.
What?
So
Oh, you like me because you saw me playing like well in a game. Like all this
that
time you
doesn't make any
hated me,
sense.
and that's the moment that made you like
Well,
me.
I thought he was going to mention, like,
I'd be
time I would
pissed.
have mentioned was, like, when they were in the car together after their date. You know, they were,
Oh
like, all
yeah,
giddy
yeah.
from the
There was
alcohol.
a lot of
Like, that was
chemistry
a good
there
moment, but
before they went to the
I think he was
crazy
caught off guard.
bowling
I think
situation.
he was caught off guard by Mina-sue as well. That she's the one
Yeah,
that
yeah.
asked the question.
I think he doesn't like to like let on to like his like feelings or like his true like emotions in front of
Yeah.
anyone, especially to Mina-sue because he knows what she's like.
Yeah, you can tell by just his posture and everything that he is a guarded person. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I feel like he's closed off in some ways.
yeah.
So Mina Susan says in her confessional, I kind of feel like I didn't get a clear answer from him at all. I think I just wanted to know the moment, the reason I gave him absolute certainty of his feelings for Hee-sun and made him stop caring about me. So it's all about her again.
Oh God.
So those hosts that were like, she's trying to help him out. No, she's trying to help herself out. That's what
Yeah, but I
Mina Sue
think they
does.
have to say things like that. Like I said, they can't keep like going at her because I think they got talking to like you're going to look like really terrible. You could get
Yeah, of
cancelled
course.
for it.
No,
So
I
they
get it.
have
I
to
get
say
it.
other
I get
things.
it.
They have to
But
make a comment, so they have to say something else.
yeah, but I
They can't
do
be
think
raw like
that.
us.
But again, it's all about how, like, it's another example. Like, she had to get it right there in the last minute. Another example of like, why, if you really like Sung-hun, why is this in your brain? Why do you need to get this clarification from Subin? Because you like him still.
Yeah,
Duh.
and you don't like Sung-hoon. It's a lie. Liar, liar, motherfucking pants on fire. Hey, I have to
Yeah.
say it a million times.
So the host also noticed that Heston doesn't look, like you were saying, she didn't look particularly happy with the answer, and that wasn't what she was looking for. So Jae-jin says, I'm curious to hear from Go-eun. Was there a particular moment when you decided on your current top choice? What was the situation there? And then I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good for her because she doesn't like to directly answer anything. But she says it was today's conversation. So that was where it ends. When she says, yeah, my current top choice changed after today's conversation. The conversation is obviously the one she had with I-Geon, right? Because he explained himself so well. And he said, like, you know how I felt after that? Like, I literally stood across from you in the pool. I gave you those, like, come jump on me eyes. I'm going to come jump on you eyes. And you don't know how I feel. So, like, I think she got it in that moment. And that is what it is. So, I-Geon it is, unless he does something really stupid now. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought like full clarity is there because I-Geon made himself very clear. He communicated that well. It felt like they had a good understanding after that conversation. Both of them like left the conversation like pretty happy, and I felt like
Yeah,
done. It's a done deal.
it's done. Exactly. Yeah. So I guess the next episode is going to be them standing around on the island.
Is that how it helped? It ended.
Yeah, that's how it ended.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll find out what happens next, guys. So
Last
um,
episode.
yeah, it's coming up pretty soon. And remember, we're going to have other stuff. Like we're going to have Agents of Mystery Season 1 recap. We're also going to be doing the Mongolia trip from Physical Asia pretty soon as well. There's only like 4 episodes to that, so and they're really short. So we'll just talk about that all
Yeah.
together. And also Bloodhounds as well.
Yeah. Obviously, with Singles Inferno, we felt like the recap was good, like doing it kind of dialogue, doing all the dialogue and stuff. But in the future, a lot of our stuff will be just, our feelings on the program and what our review is, basically, not kind of word for word, obviously.
Yeah, because like scripted shows, it's hard to do that as well.
Oh yeah, no,
and it's not sustainable. We realize it's not sustainable to do this. That's why it's taken us such a long time to get to the end of this season, because like we have lives. So we've got other
we're
things
trying to
do.
do it in between our lives.
Yeah,
but
and we've been sick
I think
constantly.
we will still do this for next season, but by then hopefully we'll be better with like scheduling and stuff, and we will be a bit more professional about it.
Okay, so see you soon, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Quick, hit the follow button so you never miss an episode. You can also follow us on our socials too: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating on whatever you're listening to this podcast on.